Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We've been basically keeping a theme of checking out cosmetic mods for a while because that's kind of all that's coming out. And yeah, we're gonna kind of keep that going, I guess, because we keep getting more and more cosmetic mods. So this one, if you're eagle-eyed, you can see that the ceiling is much different now. It has kind of like these little light fixtures and stuff that are kind of pre-built in. I think it has its own kind of built-in lighting system. Let me see here. We flip the switch. It appears to be lighting, but then like these lights are still on too, so I'm not exactly sure. It would have to be nighttime for me to find out, but I think I actually have to get rid of all these. So that's how the initial video started, and then I immediately realized that yeah, this little overlay or whatever, it's just that. There are no internal lighting mechanisms in this or anything, which is interesting because that's exactly what the page says. It literally says that it doesn't provide any light at all. So um, there you go. If you read the page, then you'll know what it is. So let's take a look back at the page here. It says this looks makes your ceiling look more beautiful and organized with grid for installed lighting, commercial style. It doesn't add lights, it just adds better lighting with the alignment of the spots. Now, this is a little confusing for me because initially my thought process was the reason to download this was maybe they were going to have these preset spots where you can put lighting, like the little squares on the ceiling were preset locations where you could put lighting to optimize your lighting situation. And basically that's kind of what it does. But I don't know if the intent was for you to use it that way. Place your lights on the squares that light up to optimize your lighting situation and then remove the mod, or if they were planning on you to keep it. The reason why I'm confused about that is because of this. So I have some side-by-side comparison photos that I've taken, and if you look at both of these photos, they showcase the lighting, how it looks with the mod on and with the mod off. And to be frank, the lighting looks significantly worse in my opinion with the mod on. It just doesn't look right. There's something going on with the ceiling and the reflections of the light on the reflections of the ceiling that makes this just look terrible. It just does not look great to me. Like the lighting itself, as far as the room is concerned, is fine, and the little beams, I guess, the rays that come down from the lights initially, that kind of triangular kind of ray that comes down or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but you can actually see the light coming down from each light. That seems to be gone somehow with the mod, and I kind of like the fact that it's gone, but it's still lighting the room. The problem though is there's this weird, super bright glare that is reflecting off of the ceiling itself, and it's completely distracting. It literally just it just makes it bad to me. So I guess it's a pick your poison. You either have the distracting kind of beam coming down from the lights that literally screams there is a light here, like street lights kind of do at nighttime, or you can use this mod with the texture still on and have general better lighting without the little beam thing or whatever, but you got that weird, annoying, super bright glare at the top bouncing off of the ceiling. Honestly, looking at the side-by-side comparisons, I much prefer the latter. So I don't know if this was the intent of this mod, but this is the way that I used it. I set up my lighting with the mod on because the squares are a perfect distance from each other, and you can kind of pick your distance if you want to skip a block or something like that to line up the lighting, to make it symmetrical and make sure that you have an even distribution of lighting throughout the store, and then delete the mod once you have them set. That seems to be the best route to go. Completely up to you whether or not that's what you want to do, and honestly it's completely up to the person who created this mod on whether or not that was either even their plan. I'm not even really sure if that's what the intent was, to be perfectly honest, but I mean, that's what I did. The mod is fine. for what I used it for. Like to have a grid and a guideline on the ceiling to help you kind of put your lighting up and then get rid of the mod after that. I thought, yeah, it works perfect for that. And I would use it specifically for that, honestly. So whenever I need to put more lighting up or whatever, if I want to make sure that the lighting is evenly distributed and placed properly, I will go back, re-download the mod, put the lighting up, and then take it back off. That's just me, honestly, because like as is, like I don't like the lighting. It just looks bad with that extra glare up there, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how to get rid of it. It just kind of is what it is. Now, interestingly enough, when you download this mod, it comes with 3 separate files for the lighting fixtures or whatever. Not the lighting fixtures, but for the ceiling. There's like 3 separate ones, and from the looks of it, the first 2 pictures that you get, the first 2 object textures, when you put those 2 into the folder, you don't get the glare on the ceiling. So you'll still have kind of the ceiling texture up top without the glare. But if you put that ceiling N one, because there's a ceiling A, ceiling MS, and ceiling N, if you put that ceiling N one on there, that's where the glare comes in. So maybe if you want kind of the texture, but you also don't want the glare, you can do the ceiling A, ceiling MS folder and omit the N one, and hopefully that'll help. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure because I don't really know how a lot of these files and stuff work, and how it manipulates the actual textures of stuff and whatever. I'm not really well versed in that. But you know what? As a example, let's do it ourselves here. So I only have the first 2 files like I referred to before. And when you go in here, you can see a bit of a grid. Like it's not as visible as it was before, but it's definitely there. And when you turn the lights on, there you go. The lights are beaming down as usual. You can still kind of sort of see the grid that was up there. So now that it's still there, you can still place your lights and I guess still have it work out. Although, is this even... Yeah, okay, yeah. So you can still place them because the grid is still kind of there, and this is probably the optimal situation. If you're watching, developer of the mod, I'm not sure what's going on with that third file or that third what is it, the N one. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with it, but it is what's creating that weird glare situation up top, and not a fan at all. So maybe we can figure something out to try to fix that, to make it look better, to kind of get rid of that heavy glare, and I think it'll be fine. You could probably just keep the mod on at that point. But outside of that, this is my kind of alternative to fix that situation. But if that glare doesn't bother you at all, like if it's not a problem to you at all, then I guess you're fine. So the only other thing would be to do now is to let's check it out and see how it looks during the daytime, because it's one thing to look at it at night, but during the daytime, yeah, okay. So this looks kind of normal, how it would look in the daytime and nighttime usually, but during the day, it's actually a bit more visible. At night, the grid isn't as visible, and maybe that's what the N one is for. Maybe N means night, I'm assuming. Maybe that's what N means. I don't know. This just shows my ignorance when it comes to mods and how they work. But either way, the grid is still here, and you don't have that problem with the lighting that I was talking about before. Although, I mean, when you turn these on in the daytime, holy crap, that's bright. But you don't need to have your lights on in the daytime anyway. So, yeah, there you go. You can still have the nice ceiling, which to me still looks significantly better. I think this is overall aesthetically an upgrade. But just be careful when you're transferring the files over and you're installing it. You'll see 3 files: ceiling A, ceiling MS, and ceiling N. N is the one you want to not transfer over if you don't want to deal with that weird kind of glare. But yeah, mod's good. I think it's pretty good. It helps with the lighting. It definitely helps with the placement, if nothing else. But something needs to be done about that N file, I think. Or that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. As usual, I'll see you guys on the next one.